In this video, we've compiled some classic cartoon characters who never speak or speak very little. Throughout the video, we briefly looked at these characters and their histories. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Enjoy watching. Goofy is a character created by the Walt Disney Company, who is well-meaning but extremely clumsy and forgetful. He first appeared in the short film Mickey's Revue in 1932. His original name was Dippy Dog. In 1934, he got his current name, Goofy, in Orphan's Benefit. Goofy's comedy relies heavily on physical humor and his clumsiness. He can turn even the simplest tasks into complicated and disastrous events. Goofy starred in his own series of How Tough short films in the 1940s, which made him iconic. Goofy attempts to teach the audience how to do a sport, a daily activity such as skiing, playing football, driving a car, or a hobby. The humor of this series stems from the contrast between Goofy listening to the logical and serious instructions of a narrator, and always failing miserably when trying to follow them. Goofy's attempts always end in chaos. Chilly Willy is a cute penguin living in Antarctica, created by Walter Lantz Production Studio. He first appeared in 1953. His creator is Paul J. Smith. Some sources mention that Tex Avery also contributed to the initial design. He is a short, small penguin who usually wears a red beret. He is constantly cold and always looking for ways to stay warm. This often leads him to try to sneak into places where people have set up to provide food and warmth. Chilly Willy frequently encounters a large, good-natured but easily irritated polar bear. He usually plays the role of a guard, watchman, or cook, and tries to thwart Chilly's plans. The character has appeared in various comic books over the years and in the modern animated series The New Woody Woodpecker Show, which aired from 1999 to 2002. The Ant and the Aardvark is a classic chase series produced by Depassier-Freleng Enterprises and made famous as part of the Pink Panther show. Much like Tom and Jerry, the story revolves around the constant conflict between two main characters. The Charlie Ant character is extremely intelligent, cunning, and calm. He foils all of the Aardvark's elaborate plans with his wit and simple tricks. He is the Aardvark's constant prey, but he is always one step ahead of him and ultimately causes the Aardvark to fall into his own trap. The Aardvark is grumpy, greedy, and constantly desperate. He tries every means to catch and eat Aunt Charlie, but his plans constantly backfire. In summary, it is a battle between the anteater's hunger and Charlie's intelligence. The anteater often uses overly complex ACME-like devices, but these devices inevitably backfire on him. The series' comedic tone lies in the humorous contrast brought by John Byner's voice acting, which imitates famous comedians, on top of this old-fashioned chase. Owl Jolson is a one-off but utterly unforgettable character from the classic Merry Melodies series, best known for the 1936 short film titled I Love to Singa. He was created by Warner Brothers Studios. He is actually a parody of the famous American singer Al Jolson and the first talkie film, The Jazz Singer. The I Love to Singa short film tells the story of Owl Jolson, whose real name is Junior, a little owl. Junior's father, Professor Fritz Owl, is a strict and disciplined classical music fan who speaks with a German accent. Both parents want their children to become classical musicians like them. Junior, however, has only one desire: to sing jazz and perform the song I Love to Singa. Even when singing classical music pieces, he constantly drifts into a jazz rhythm. When his father catches him secretly singing jazz, he angrily kicks him out of the house and sends Junior out into the world to make a living. Junior enters a talent contest held on the radio and gives himself the name Owl Jolson. Pingu is the main character of a popular Swiss-made children's television series that holds a unique place in the world of animation. It was created by Ottmar Gutmann and Erika Brueggemann. It began in 1986. It was made using stop-motion animation with clay figures. Pingu is an extremely likable, curious, energetic, yet also somewhat mischievous and stubborn little emperor penguin chick. All his adventures stem from his endless enthusiasm and mischievousness. The most distinctive feature of the series is the language used by the characters. Pingu and his family use a made-up language called Pinguish, which has no meaning but perfectly conveys the intended emotions and meanings. This makes the series universally understandable. Pingu's stories revolve around his anthropomorphic family and friends living in their igloo in Antarctica. Droopy is a classic cartoon character created by animation genius Tex Avery, known for his distinctive style. He was created by Tex Avery and designed at the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Cartoon Studio. He first appeared in the 1943 short film Dumb Hounded. He has a white feathered appearance with a droopy face and low-set ears. As his name suggests, he constantly has a tired, grumpy, or dissatisfied expression. His eyes are droopy and his voice is monotonous and low-pitched. Contrary to his appearance, Droopy is quite intelligent, resourceful, cool-headed, and patient. He remains calm even in the face of danger. The main humor of Droopy's cartoons is his ability to appear anywhere. No matter how hard his opponent tries to escape, Droopy always shows up unexpectedly saying hello at an unexpected moment and in an unexpected place. Although he usually appears lethargic and listless, especially when his rival angers him or makes him laugh, he can experience a sudden burst of strength and defeat enemies many times his size with comical violence. Droopy's most frequent opponent is usually a large wolf or bulldog character who tries to defeat him, but always fails. This character is sometimes referred to by names like Butch or Spike, but in the Droopy series, he is most prominently portrayed as Wolf. We remember him from the Tom and Jerry comedy show series aired in the 1980s. Chip and Dale are two lovable chipmunks created by the Walt Disney Company, best known for their comical conflicts with Donald Duck. They were created by the Walt Disney Company. They first appeared in 1943. Although these two chipmunks look very similar, they have distinct differences that make them easily distinguishable. Chip the Chipmunk has a dark brown nose. His front teeth are smaller and straighter. He has no hair or just a small tuft of hair on top of his head. His character traits are serious, intelligent, and logical. He is the one who makes plans and behaves more calmly. Dale has a reddish-purple large nose. His front teeth are larger and more widely spaced. He usually has a long, messy tuft of hair on top of his head. His character traits are silly, careless, cheerful, and funny. He is the one who usually ruins plans or accidentally creates comical situations. In most short films, squirrels usually try to steal acorns from Donald's garden. Egghead Jr. is a big-headed and very clever chick. He first appeared in the 1954 short film Little Boy Boo. He was created by Robert McKimson. He is the only child of Miss Prissy, a widowed hen. He is usually quiet, but he can mumble and he can accomplish almost anything just by writing down physics theorems. He is a bookworm and loves reading. Foghorn Leghorn tries to teach him games like baseball or cowboy play to encourage him to act more like a typical boy. However, these attempts usually end with Foghorn getting injured, as Egghead Jr. always outsmarts him with his intelligence. Betty Boop is one of the first and most iconic female characters in animation history. She was created by Max Fleischer and animated by Grim Natwick. Produced by Fleischer Studios for Paramount Pictures, she first appeared in the Talkertoon short film Dizzy Dishes, released on August 8, 1930. She represents the 1920s flapper culture and women of the jazz age, short hair, short skirts, and feminine charm. In the early days, she was often depicted as a nightclub singer. She got her own series in 1932 and became one of the popular icons of the Great Depression era, ending in 1939. Bimbo is an important animated dog character who was one of Fleischer Studios' star characters before the Betty Boop series. Created by Fleischer Studios, he was designed in 1930. He was the main character and star of the Talkertoon series. He was positioned as a rival to Disney's Mickey Mouse before Betty Boop. He is typically depicted as a short, round, black and white cartoon dog. He is said to be a mix of a Boston Terrier, Pug, and Bulldog. The character walks and behaves like a human. She has been described as a tough, cigar-chewing, slightly immoral, piano-playing jazz dog. The name was chosen because the word bimbo in the 1920s was associated with men who loved to fight. Baby Huey is a fictional cartoon character who is a giant, innocent duckling. He was created by Martin Terrasse and developed by Paramount Pictures. He first appeared in 1949. In the cartoons, he is often depicted trying to play with other small ducks, leading to comical mishaps caused by his size and battling a fox that wants to eat him. The fox tries to trap Huey, but Huey's innocence and resilience always cause the traps to backfire. Roadrunner is one of the most famous and fastest characters in the world of cartoons. He first appeared in 1949 in the short film Fast and Furious. His creators are renowned animation director Chuck Jones and writer Michael Maltese. His most distinctive feature is his incredible speed, which always leaves Wile Coyote, who is trying to catch him, behind. Most episodes are built around this unstoppable chase. He is an innocent, lovable character who usually minds his own business. He evades Wile Coyote's traps every time, and Coyote's plans always backfire due to his own incompetence and the cartoon physics rules favoring Roadrunner. In summary, Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoons are known for their comical situations that defy the laws of physics and for the absurdly complex inventions Coyote orders from the ACME company, which inevitably lead to disaster. Wile E. Coyote is one of the most famous and unlucky characters in Warner Bros. Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoon series. His story almost always revolves around his attempts to catch his eternal rival, Roadrunner. He was created by Chuck Jones and Michael Maltese. His first appearance was in the 1949 short films Fast and Furious. Coyote often refers to himself as the super genius. Instead of relying on his animal instincts, he focuses on devising overly complex, exaggerated, and scientific plans to catch Roadrunner. He orders all his traps and devices from a fictional company called ACME Corporation. However, these products are always defective or backfire on Coyote. The main theme of the stories is that Coyote never succeeds. Each episode ends with Roadrunner's incredible speed and cartoon physics rules, particularly gravity working against Coyote. He usually meets a painful end by falling off a cliff or exploding in his own trap. Felix the Cat is one of the most iconic and influential characters in animation history and can be considered the first major star of the silent film era. He first appeared in the 1919 short film Feline Follies. While the idea and production are attributed to Australian producer Pat Sullivan, the character's design and animation were largely created by lead animator Otto Messmer. He was the world's most popular cartoon star before Mickey Mouse. He has black fur, a round face, and large white eyes. One of his characteristic features is his wide, cheerful smile. Felix's most well-known feature is his magic bag, which he often uses as a lifesaver in difficult situations. Thanks to this bag, he can pull out or transform into anything he needs. Felix is considered the first fully realized, recurring, and internationally renowned anthropomorphic animal character in American animation history. Heckle and Jeckle are two identical magpie characters created by the animation studio Terrytoons, known for their intelligence and cunning. They were created by Paul Terry and first appeared in the 1946 short film The Talking Magpies. The most important feature that distinguishes Heckle and Jeckle from other cartoon duos is that they get not only each other but everyone around them into trouble. They are identical, yellow-billed, black-feathered, and white-breasted. Sometimes one is drawn with a hat and the other without to differentiate them. The main thing that sets them apart is their voices. Heckle. He is more combative and speaks with a New York accent. He is usually the one who makes the plans and is more aggressive. Jeckle is polite and speaks with an English accent. He is more level-headed and calmly goes along with Heckle's plans. The duo constantly breaks social rules, provoking people and animals. Rather than solving the problems they encounter, they usually prefer to be the source of the problem. They use logic, illusion, and mind games to defeat their opponents. They also have a tendency to break the fourth wall by occasionally speaking directly to the audience or bending the rules of cartoon animation. Hooked Bear was made in 1956 and is a short film starring the Disney character Humphrey the Bear. It first appeared in the 1950 goofy short film Hold That Pose. Humphrey is an opportunistic, irritable, and somewhat dim-witted grizzly bear. He constantly breaks park rules, attempting to steal food or shelter from visitors, particularly Donald Duck. He expresses his emotions and thoughts through a series of incomprehensible grunts, growls, and screams. The comedic element is usually based on his food-stealing plans being constantly thwarted by park ranger Woodlore or Donald Duck, leaving Humphrey helplessly panicked. Figaro is a classic and beloved character from Walt Disney Studios. We first see him in the 1940 film Pinocchio. He is designed as a small tuxedo cat. He was first introduced as the pet of Master Geppetto and Pinocchio. Figaro is a cute, mischievous, and somewhat spoiled kitten. Although he is generally gentle and affectionate, he can easily become jealous or stubborn. He especially wants to be the center of attention. Figaro appeared in many Disney shorts made in later years, particularly in the 1940s as Minnie Mouse's pet. Mickey Mouse is not just a cartoon character, but also the universal symbol of the Walt Disney Company and one of the world's most recognizable fictional figures. His birth date is considered to be November 18, 1928. Although his first public appearance was in the silent short film Plain Crazy, his official birthday is recognized as the release of Steamboat Willie, the first animated film with sound. He possesses a cheerful, brave, helpful, always optimistic, and positive character. He tries to solve problems and is loyal to his friends. In 1978, he became the first cartoon character to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Mickey Mouse universe usually revolves around Mousetown or Toontown. The Mickey Mouse universe maintains flexibility and consistency from story to story. Sometimes they embark on fantastic adventures. Other times they deal with simple, everyday problems in the modern world. Fundamentally, the purpose of this universe is to provide entertainment and positivity. The Pink Panther is an animated character originally created for the opening credits of the 1963 live-action film series of the same name. In the film, the Pink Panther is actually the name of a large and valuable diamond. Its creators are the renowned animators Friz Freleng and David H. DePatie. Its success in the opening credits was so great that the studio decided to create its own short animated film series. In 1964, they won an Oscar for their first animated film, The Pink Fink. He is usually silent and communicates through facial expressions, body language, and clever movements. He has only spoken once or twice in the early cartoons. He is smart, cunning, relaxed, cool, and adventurous. He often engages in battles of wits with his small, white, mustachioed, and grumpy rival, commonly known as Mr. Big Nose Man. One of the character's most memorable details is the famous, jazz-infused and mysterious The Pink Panther theme music created by renowned composer Henry Mancini. Although initially designed as a sophisticated character aimed at adults, his simple and comical adventures have made him a favorite among children worldwide. The Inspector is a clumsy French police detective who starred in his own short animated series, as well as in the Pink Panther cartoons. He was created by Friz Freleng and David DePatie. He first appeared in the opening animation of the 1964 live-action film The Pink Panther. His own short cartoon series aired from 1965 to 1969. Like his inspiration Clouseau, the Inspector is an extremely incompetent, clumsy, and overly bewildered police officer. He struggles to solve even simple situations and is often the victim of his own mistakes. He is of medium height with black hair and a mustache. He usually wears a long brown trench coat and a fedora hat. He speaks with a distinct accent that indicates he is French. The comedy element is based on his authority constantly being undermined, and even the simplest investigations turning into a disaster for him. In the Pink Panther cartoons, the Inspector sometimes appears as the person who disturbs the Panther's calm or engages in comical competition with him. Like the Inspector himself, the character of the little man, Huey, who is portrayed as the person who constantly irritates the Panther, is usually someone dressed as the Inspector or who looks very similar to him. Mutt and Jeff are one of the oldest and most influential character duos in cartoon history. They originally began as a newspaper comic strip, but became pioneers of early animation. Their creator is Bud Fisher. They first appeared on November 15, 1907, initially featuring only Mutt. In 1908, with the addition of Jeff, the comic strip was renamed Mutt and Jeff. Short animated films began to be produced starting in 1916. Thus, they became stars of the early animation era. It is considered the first successful daily newspaper comic strip. Mutt and Jeff are a classic comedy duo based on physical and personality contrasts. Mutt is tall, thin, and clumsy. He usually wears strange hats and clothes. He is easily fooled, hasty, greedy, and generally lazy. He constantly devises crazy get-rich-quick schemes that promise big money with little effort. He was originally just a gambler obsessed with horse racing. Jeff, on the other hand, is short, bald, and usually wears a fedora and a wing-collared suit. He is often a reluctant partner in Mutt's schemes. Although not particularly clever, he is a slightly grumpy friend who can foresee the failure of Mutt's plans. When he first appeared, he was a patient in a mental hospital who believed he was the famous boxer Jim Jeffries. The cartoons, like the comic books, focus on the duo's absurd escapades, ridiculous adventures, and always failing get-rich-quick schemes. Marvin the Martian is a famous alien character from the Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies series. Marvin first appeared opposite Bugs Bunny in the 1948 animated short Hair Devil Hair. He has a small, completely black round head with only his large eyes visible. His most distinctive feature is his outfit, which resembles a Roman soldier's helmet and tunic. Unlike other Looney Tunes villains, Marvin is a very logical, calm, and calculating bad guy. Instead of getting angry, he explains his plans in a calm tone. The reason he tries to destroy Earth is hidden in his famous line, "Because it blocks my view of Venus." Mighty Mouse and the Kilkenny Cats is one of the adventures of Mighty Mouse, one of Terry Toon's most popular characters from 1945, and takes its name from a famous Irish proverb. Mighty Mouse is a mouse with superpowers. When he first appeared, his name was Super Mouse. He gained his strength from super cheese he acquired from a supermarket, but later this origin story was dropped, and he became born with superpowers. He can fly, has super strength and super speed, and is bulletproof. He usually flies while singing in an operatic voice. Our character's role is to save the town or the damsel in distress character from the attack of evil cats. The essence of this short film is to show how super powerful and invincible a hero Mighty Mouse is by easily defeating the Wildcats, who are numerous and organized. The Tasmanian Devil, or simply Taz, is a fictional cartoon character from Warner Bros.' famous Looney Tunes series known for his boundless energy and appetite. He was created by Robert McKimson and first appeared in the 1954 short film Devil May Care. Taz's most distinctive feature is his ability to spin around like a tornado to quickly reach his target or overcome obstacles. The growling sounds he makes during this spin and his destructive impact are iconic. Taz has one sole purpose: to eat. With his insatiable appetite, he can devour anything that comes his way. In his early short films, he typically appeared as the victim or rival of Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck. Bugs Bunny would use his intelligence to constantly turn Taz's insatiable appetite against him. Taz reached the peak of his popularity in the 1990s and had his own cartoon series called Tazmania from 1991 to 1995. This series was set on Tasmania Island and showed Taz not just as a wild beast, but also as a young individual living with his family and possessing more human-like traits. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit is of great importance in animation history and is an iconic character known as the predecessor to Mickey Mouse. He was created by Walt Disney and Iwerks. He first appeared in the 1927 short film Trolley Troubles. Walt Disney Studios produced it for Universal Pictures. Losing the rights to Oswald prompted Disney to create an entirely new character, Mickey Mouse. He is a large black rabbit with long ears. He wears white gloves and usually wears short pants. His original appearance closely resembles Mickey Mouse. As Walt Disney intended, Oswald was a young, lively, energetic, daring, and always alert character. Like early animation characters, his comedy often relied on physical humor, such as fast movements, unexpected situations, and body parts stretching into comical shapes. The Walt Disney Company regained the rights to Oswald's cartoons in 2006 through an asset swap, acquiring them from NBC Universal in exchange for the release of sports commentator Al Michaels nearly 80 years later. Pluto is an iconic cartoon character created by Walt Disney Studios. Although he starred in short films such as The Sleepwalker, he is an animal character and, unlike other Disney characters, has not been anthropomorphized. His first appearance was in the 1930 short film The Chain Gang. In the 1931 film The Moose Hunt, he was named Pluto as Mickey Mouse's dog. He expresses his emotions through barks, howls, and especially his facial expressions, body language, and ear movements. He is generally loyal, affectionate, and optimistic, but he can easily get angry, be jealous, and constantly has an instinct to protect his bones or food. His comedic element often comes from his comical struggles with the forces of nature, small animals, or his own body's reactions. The Sleepwalker is one of the most famous films in which Pluto experiences a split personality. While awake during the day, he is aggressive and selfish towards Dinah, who steals his bone or approaches him. At night, he becomes a sleepwalker. Completely asleep and unconscious, there is no trace of his daytime selfishness, and he selflessly and generously offers Dinah his bone. Sniffles is an early character created by Chuck Jones, who would later become a famous director for Warner Brothers' Merry Melodies series. He first appeared in the 1939 short film Naughty But Mice. We see him as a small, cute mouse, usually wearing a blue sailor hat and a yellow scarf. Most of his adventures revolve around the troubles he encounters in a dangerous world due to his innocence and naivety, or his attempts to complete a simple task. Sniffles reads a book called For Novice Egg Collectors and decides to take up collecting owl eggs as a hobby. He has a timid bookworm friend with him. When they go to an old church tower to get the egg, they encounter the egg's owner, a giant, huge, and terrifying owl, and the adventure begins. Tom and Jerry is a series created by William Hanna and Joseph Barbera, and is one of the most popular animated series of all time. The series began with the short film Puss Gets the Boot, which premiered in 1940. In this first film, the cat character's name was Jasper, and the mouse's name was Jinx. When the film was successful, producer Fred Quimby held a contest within the studio to find new names for the characters. Animator John Carr, inspired by a traditional American Christmas cocktail called a Tom and Jerry, suggested the names Tom and Jerry and won the prize. Hanna and Barbera wrote and directed a total of 114 short films for MGM between 1940 and 1958. The series broke a record by winning the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film 7 times. With the closure of MGM's animation studio, the production rights to the series passed to different studios, and Tom and Jerry's history was divided into different periods. Tom generally lives a comfortable life as a house cat. He is a cunning, quick-tempered, sensitive, and equally clumsy cat. His main goal is to catch his arch-enemy Jerry, protect his reputation at home, and be a hero. Although his intelligence sometimes matches Jerry's, he is slower and less agile than Jerry, so he is often defeated. However, he never gives up. Jerry is a cunning, intelligent, energetic, and opportunistic mouse. He possesses a sharper mind and better luck than Tom. His primary goal is to escape Tom's wrath, find food, and play tricks on Tom by luring him into his own traps or getting Spike to catch him. He usually prevails in his battles with Tom. He often uses his wits and objects around him to fend off Tom's attacks. Spike is one of the most recognizable and important supporting characters in the Tom and Jerry cartoons. He is an English bulldog. He has a large, muscular build, a scowling face, and usually wears a spiked collar around his neck. He first appeared in the 1942 Tom and Jerry short film Dog Trouble. He first spoke in the 1944 cartoon The Bodyguard. He has a very tough, strong, and quick-tempered personality, especially intolerant of cats. However, he is extremely protective and loyal to those he has befriended or saved, such as Jerry. Spike's most prominent role is often as Jerry's guardian angel. When Tom attacks or catches Jerry, a single whistle or cry for help from Jerry is enough for Spike to immediately appear on the scene and teach Tom a lesson. Spike is a constant threat to Tom. The Tom and Jerry fight usually ends in a cycle where Tom catches Jerry and is immediately subjected to Spike's wrath. Spike's punishments for Tom are usually physical, but he also imposes conditions that force Tom to obey certain rules. Snoopy is one of the most iconic and recognizable characters from the world-famous comic strip series Peanuts. He was created by Charles M. Schulz. He first appeared in the comic strip on October 4th, 1950. He is a beagle and Charlie Brown's pet. Snoopy is far from being an ordinary dog, and what makes his character unique is his rich imagination and human-like behavior. Unlike his early days when he walked on all fours, Snoopy began walking on 2 legs in 1956. He reads books, types on a typewriter, and plays sports. Snoopy does not speak like a real dog. However, his thoughts are conveyed to readers and viewers through thought bubbles. These internal monologues reveal his intelligence, sense of humor, and philosophical tendencies. He prefers to sleep on the roof of his doghouse, usually lying on his back. His doghouse is much larger on the inside than it appears from the outside. It is imagined to even contain a billiard room and an art collection. Snoopy mostly lives in a fantasy world and has many famous alter egos. The main ones are the World War I flying ace, his most famous alter ego. He is known for his adventures fighting the fictional German pilot Red Baron. using his doghouse as a Sopwith Camel airplane. We see him as a famous writer. He tries to write short and often unsuccessful novels beginning with the sentence, "It was a dark and stormy night." He takes on the persona of a character named Joe Cool. He wears sunglasses and acts like a cool student. Woodstock is one of the smallest but most important characters in the Peanuts comic strip series and cartoons. He is Snoopy's inseparable friend. He was created by Charles M. Schulz. He first appeared anonymously on March 4th, 1966. On June 22, 1970, he was named after the famous Woodstock Music and Art Festival. Woodstock is the smallest creature in the Peanuts universe. He is not very good at flying and usually flies backwards or upside down. He struggles while flying and tires quickly. Like Snoopy, Woodstock does not speak human language. His communication consists only of exclamations, buzzes, and meaningless chirps. Snoopy is the only character who understands Woodstock's sounds and translates what he says to the audience. This is a sign of the deep bond and special friendship between the two. He is very playful, adventurous, and loyal. He always wants to play and especially accompanies Snoopy on his imaginary adventures. We usually see him as a co-pilot. Woodstock is Snoopy's best friend. Their friendship began when Woodstock emerged from a nest he had built on Snoopy's belly when he first appeared.